Okay, I guess you can tell what time it is because it's tea time. Oh, my throat. I have created my own little special little tea. It's some pineapple and grape. So come by. Very weak. I'm trying my own blends. And when I get my own blend, guess what? That's what I'm going to be using. And when we go out on the road and we visit people, yeah. Light is on, it's ready. Okay. One thing, this is Edgar. It's an elephant. So I went and got a tea pet. I said I was going to get a tea pet. This is Edgar. So it'll be there for when we do our first pours. You pour right over it. Or pour right over it. Because first pour is very important. I found out the hard way. Let's get into this. So I was reading and a very interesting thing happened. This was a long time ago. A person decided that they would rob a bank. And when they robbed the bank, they shot and killed the teller, right? And this person was sentenced to death. So they were in prison for a while, and during this time in the United States, the death penalty was frowned upon. Okay, rightfully so. I mean, the people wanted him to rot in jail and not get the death penalty. And they petitioned the Congress, they petitioned the president, and the president finally broke down and gave him a pardon. Okay? And as he got his pardon, he didn't want it. He was free to go, but he didn't want it. He could live and not die, but he did not want it. It went all the way to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, okay, here's the thing about pardons. What we're going to have to establish is this. The person can be pardoned, but they have to accept it. And since he did not accept it, he had to die. So he was sentenced to death. Which brings us to present day. First off, okay? We get pardoned from all of the wrongdoings that we do, and we have this death sentence on us. But because the president or the high official pardons us, we have to accept that pardon. If we don't accept it, then we're sentenced to death. In your own life, you are forgiven for your sins, but if you don't accept the pardon, then you're still sentenced to death. That's that's a given, all right? I was reading the devotion and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But what also came to mind is, how many times have we tried to forgive someone and they don't accept the forgiveness? Or someone did something wrong to you because they don't like you, and you forgave that person, and then they still went and said, well, that's not good enough. They want to continue this battle on. And then that relationship is condemned to death. What I want you to understand is, especially about this pardon, that both sides have to work together to an agreement that things are okay. I can want all day long for you to be good if I've done something to you, but if you don't want that relationship to be good, then it's sentenced to death. Or if you did something to me and I'm like, you got to come better than that, that relationship is sentenced to death. The only way is for you or one party and the other party to agree that everything is okay. How do you get to that point? The only way to get to that point is to actually have negotiations. And when I'm saying negotiations, I'm not really saying you have to sit down with T and battle it out. But there has to be a conversation, not screaming. A communication has to take place. It is very easy to bring up the past and everything somebody did, or to sit and remember everything that person did to you. But if you want a clean slate, if you want to move forward, there needs to be a communication, or there needs to be an understanding. Sometimes you don't even have to communicate. You just know, and that person knows, we all right. What happened in the past was the past, and we're all right. But if it's not okay with one party, then it's not okay, because there is an acceptance of that agreement. So in your tea time, in your time of reflection, I want you to really think about some of the things, some of the hurts that's happened to you, and some of the hurts that you've caused. And you might say, I'm over that. But if there's no agreement, is it really over? Maybe you all forgot about it, and maybe everything is okay. But sometimes some people are built different, and I'm not okay. Every time that person comes around, I'm not okay. I might not say anything, but I'm not okay. And I just need to stay away from that person. That means things are not okay, that there's a death sentence on that relationship. And remember, God put you in places with people in your circle of influence to really, for him to get the glory and to really build a kingdom. And that kingdom can't stand if the house is divided. So if you really want it to work, talk it out. All right? That's tea time for today. I'm going to take this last one. It's all good. And love you very much. Have an awesome day.